Hello everyone, in this video we are going to do one multiple choice question of IELTS listening together. We will look at a one correct answer question, which is multiple choice question, and it has A, B or C choices and one of them is correct. If you haven't watched the video, the whole explanation about multiple choice questions in IELTS listening, click on the video above and you can watch that. So, let's get to it. The first thing you need to know about multiple choice questions with one correct answer. Keywords, the biggest and most important fact. So let's have a look at how to do these questions and how to answer and find the correct choice. I have summarized them in 7 steps. So in the first step, you need to read the question carefully, which means you need to study the question word by word, try to find what the keyword is, which is the second step. Now, in each question, the keyword can be different depending on the question type. First thing you need to know is that you need to pay attention to the WH question of the word, if there is a WH question. So it's like, is it a why question? Is it a how question or when question? Very important point. The third step is to read the choices carefully. In your choices, you will have probably sentences or phrases. In each sentence or phrase, again, you will see some keywords. You need to find those keywords and underline them. Probably the prepositions or subjects will not be the keywords here. You should be careful about verbs, phrases, modals, and things like that. In the next step, you need to listen for the paraphrases of those keywords. As we discussed in the previous video, you will not hear the exact keywords. When you are listening to the real track, you shouldn't expect to hear those exact words. On the other hand, you should expect to hear something similar to them, a synonym, an antonym, or the same sentence in other words. Finally, you need to be aware that all the choices will be in the listening, meaning that if you think that just hearing a choice or the paraphrase of the choice can be the correct answer, can be the indicator of a correct answer, you are wrong. You need to listen, you will hear all of them. Based on the question, you need to find which one is exactly your answer. So let's get down to business and do the first example. Here we have a question, actually a part of listening, which has 3 questions for you. It's about the traffic changes in somewhere called Granford. So first step, we study the questions. We read them and underline the keywords. Look at the first question. It says, why are changes needed to traffic systems in Granford? The question is why. It's asking us the reasons. So that's your keyword. In the choices, you have the number of traffic accidents, the amount of traffic, the type of vehicles. The other parts of the sentence is not really important. You can and you must study the whole choice, but it's important to underline the very keywords that can help you get to the answer. Alright, let's go to question 2. Now in question 2, you can see that it's not a real question. It's just a sentence that says, in a survey, local residents particularly complained about. Now, survey can be important. It's an indicator that there will be a discussion about, there will be something about a survey. But the keyword here would be complaining. So the people in the survey actually have complained about something. We need to find that complaint. We don't care about the word about, particularly, local residents, well, you know, people. So your only keyword would be complaining. So in the choices you have dangerous driving by parents, pollution from trucks and lorries, inconvenience from parked cars. As you can see, because these choices are not full sentences, actually they are noun phrases because they are completing the previous sentence, they do not have many extra words, just some prepositions would be out of our keyword circle. So you need to be careful about these kind of choices. Now in question 3, it says according to the speaker. Of course, according to the speaker, so this cannot be our keyword. One problem with the new regulations will be, so we are looking for a problem in the third part. What the problem can be? Raising money, finding a way to make people follow, and finally getting the support of the police. Now, you can see the questions and choices here, but as we discussed before, you shouldn't wait for the exact words. For example, instead of amount of traffic, maybe they will use something else, such as big traffic congestions, traffic jams, traffic problems. Or, for example, instead of dangerous driving, it could be careless driving. Now we will listen to the whole listening. I will play it for you. Try to find the correct choice. Then we will come back and get to the questions one by one and find which one is the correct choice and why. Let's go.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 13.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Phil Sutton, and I'm chairman of the Highways Committee. We've called this meeting to inform members of the public about the new regulations for traffic and parking we're proposing for Granford. I'll start by summarising these changes before we open the meeting to questions. So, why do we need to make these changes to traffic systems in Granford? Well, we're very aware that traffic is becoming an increasing problem. It's been especially noticeable with the increase in heavy traffic while they've been building the new hospital. But it's the overall rise in the volume of traffic of all kinds that's concerning us. To date, there's not been any increase in traffic accidents, but that's not something we want to see happen, obviously. We recently carried out a survey of local residents, and their responses were interesting. People were very concerned about the lack of visibility on some roads due to cars parked along the sides of the roads. We'd expected complaints about the congestion near the school when parents are dropping off their children or picking them up. But this wasn't top of the list, and nor were noise and fumes from trucks and lorries, though they were mentioned by some people. We think these new traffic regulations would make a lot of difference, but we still have a long way to go. We've managed to keep our proposals within budget, just so they can be covered by the council. But of course it's no good introducing new regulations if we don't have a way of making sure that everyone obeys them. And that's an area we're still working on with the help of representatives from the police force.
So as you listened in question 1, I have again highlighted the keywords for you here. They were talking about the reasons why they need those changes in the traffic system. At the beginning there was some kind of introduction about the topic, which we don't really care about. And listening, that the part that we are looking for the answer exactly starts here. So why do we need to make these changes to traffic systems in Granford? Well, we're very aware that traffic is becoming an increasing problem. It's been especially noticeable with the increase in heavy traffic while they've been building the new hospital. But it's the overall rise in the volume of traffic of all kinds that's concerning us. So here, overall rise would be the paraphrase of increase, and volume of traffic would be the paraphrase of amount. Let's keep listening and keep reading. Now, if you keep reading, it says to date, there's not been any increase in traffic accidents. But that's not something we want to see happen, obviously. So here, increase in traffic accidents could be a misleading part. Now, if you pay attention, it says there's not been any increase. So yes, it is one of the choices, but actually it says this is not why we are changing the traffic system. So this is the misleading and big misleading part of our question, and the choice would obviously be B. Let's go to the next question. In question 2, we talked about complaining, and we wanted to find out what did people complain about: dangerous driving, pollution, or inconvenience. Now in the script we can read that it says, we recently carried out a survey of local residents. The word survey is an indicator that question 1 is finished. If you missed it, you missed it. Now focus on question 2. Their responses were interesting. People were very concerned about the lack of visibility on some roads due to cars parked along the sides of the road. Now, here the word concern is the synonym or paraphrase of complain. As we discussed before, you will not hear the exact word like what people are complaining is that. No. So, concerned about is like complain about. Lack of visibility, okay, that's something to keep in mind. Due to cars parked along the sides of the road. Okay. It is very similar to which choice? C, exactly. Parked cars. And lack of visibility means inconvenience. You are not able to see everywhere comfortably and conveniently, ergo it creates inconvenience for you. In the rest of the listening it says, we'd expect complaints about the congestions near school when parents are dropping off their children or picking them up. So, congestion near the school when parents are dropping off. Traffic congestion like traffic near the schools and parents. These are all indicators of choice A. But if you keep reading, it says this wasn't top of the list. So this was not one of the big complaints by people. So if you keep reading, it says, nor were noise and fumes from trucks and lorries, though they were mentioned by some people. So you would say noise and fumes, pollution, okay. Trucks and lorries, again mentioned in choice B. Could that be one of the correct choices or the only correct choice? The answer is no, because of the word nor. As you know, neither nor means not this one, not that one. So neither the congestion near the school nor noise and fumes from trucks and lorries were among the problems that people complained about. So the correct choice would be choice C, inconvenience from parked cars, the first one that was mentioned. Lack of visibility due to cars parked along the side of the roads. Let's move on to question 3. Here we had the problem. What was the main problem with the implementation of new regulations? Was it the money, make people follow them, or support of the police? So in the script of the question, which says question 13, but actually that's question 3 in our listening. This was question 13 in the IELTS test that I took it from. So the script says we think these new traffic regulations would make a lot of difference, but we still have a long way to go. Okay, starting to talk about problem, long way to go. We have managed to keep our proposal within budget, so they can be covered by the council. So you would think that, okay, budget, yes, same as money, paraphrasing as we talked. But as you can see, in the following parts, it says they can be covered by the council. This sentence actually says that there isn't a money problem. So this choice A cannot be the correct choice. So let's continue. But of course, it's no good introducing new regulations if we don't have a way of making sure that everyone obeys them. So this would be choice B, right? As you can see, again paraphrasing, instead of saying follow, it uses obey. Making sure, making people obey. Up to here, B would be our correct choice. Let's continue. And that's an area we are still working on with the help of representatives from the police force. So you can see the word police here and you could say, okay, the help of the police, that could be the problem. But actually it says that's the area we are still working on. It doesn't say that this is a problem. Ergo, your correct choice would be B, finding a way to make people follow them. So guys, be careful. All the choices will be stated in the listening. Somehow, by paraphrasing, synonym, antonym, somehow you will hear them. But only one of them is correct, and here choice B was correct. In the following videos, we will continue working on multiple choice questions for IELTS listening. Stay with us, subscribe our channel, and we will be posting the new video very soon. Thanks for watching.